This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and we're doing some Depression-era cooking. Now, I'm borrowing a recipe from, God rest her soul, Clara, from Clara's Depression-era cooking. Poor man's meal. Now, I gotta tell you folks, this is not a cheap meal. Clara said in her day, in the Depression, 50-pound bags of potatoes were $1. I used to be able to get a 50-pound bag of potatoes for $10. This 5-pound bag of potatoes was $3.97. These hot dogs, regularly $7, were on for $2.88. This, I'm just going to use a couple of spoons of that. And this onion was 15 cents. So, and I've only got 2 onions left until shopping on Thursday. So I went out to the garden and I grabbed some walking onions. And that makes, they're free. They don't owe me a dime. All right, so first things first, I'm going to work on the potatoes. I'm putting a piece of flyer down so that I can peel the potatoes onto that and the whole thing can go right out in my compost. Now folks, start saving these. They come on my milk bags and on bags like this. But our bread bags now no longer have plastic one of these. They are cardboard and they're useless for reusing. So, let's see, I'm going to say 4 potatoes, because they're not really huge, and 1 onion and my green onions. So first I'm going to stick to Clara's recipe as close as I can, with the exception of the green onion, and I'm going to chop mine. I'm going to dice them in the chopper because I don't know how she did it at 95 years old, but she was peeling potatoes and all that. Mind you, she had a cameraman and an editor and everything. She just had to do her thing. I want these in small pieces. So we're putting them through the chopper. Whoops. Yeah, she said, you know, $1 for a 50-pound bag of potatoes. Poor Clara, if she would laugh at the prices now, wouldn't she? But, and I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, you're going to kill your husband feeding him like that. This is a once in a blue moon kind of thing. And as far as I can tell, prices on everything from gas to groceries to anything that can be brought to a store by a truck have gone up, but our incomes are not. You want them fairly small because you're going to raw fry these. And one more. If these were great like baking potatoes, I would have only done 2. Our last potato. We're going to rinse these and get them in the pan. Now this is one thing I use paper towels for, folks, is oil will not stick to your potatoes if they're wet. So and then this paper towel can be used to wipe up a small mess after the fact because it will be nice and moist. All right, let's get these over, and I'm just gonna drop them in there like that. See, that's a nice damp cloth for wiping the counter afterwards. Get those cooking. We don't want to put the onions in right away for the simple reason is the potatoes have to cook a little longer. Now we like lots of onions, so if that was a big onion it would have done, but again, like I said, I took a walk out to the garden. And this will add some color too. That's a lot of veg, guys, if I do say so myself. Especially considering it's free. And I think I'm going to put a lid on these just to keep the moisture in and let them steam a little bit. And even then, because this price was pretty exorbitant, even for a sale price, you know, close to $3 for 5 wieners is kind of ridiculous. And these are juicy jumbo all beef wieners, so I'm going to see if I can get away with 2 of them, and this will do another meal. Now I noticed when Clara was cutting up her sausages, or her hot dogs, they had nice little chunks of meat in them, or fat in them or something. They looked like they were like butcher-made hot dogs, but you're going to slice them really thin so they go far. Okay. Now I think I know why Clara used more oil. I'm going to give another little shot in there. We're just going to slow cook these on medium until they're nice and crusty. Well, these are getting nice and gold and crispy, and they're cooking better because I put a lid on them. So now, our onions and our hot dogs. Now, like I said, these were juicy jumbo hot dogs. If I was doing regular hot dogs, I probably would have used 3 or even 4. Now, well, this is actually looking really good. Now Clara put 2 spoons of sauce in here. Hers were more heaping than mine. Mine's a little more runny. So I'm going to do 4 because hers were like a thicker sauce that heaped up. And this will go into the fridge for another meal. I'm going to turn these up a bit. Get things all moving and shaking to make like a bit of a sauce. I'm going to say about 1/2 cup. Now we're just going to put a bigger lid on these and just let them bubble away for about 15 minutes. Oh yeah, look at that. That's actually, and it smells really good. All right, they've softened up the potatoes. Yummy. All righty, let's dish daddy up some. And that's enough for me, easy. Piece of homemade bread and some spreadable butter. Now, this was not a cheap meal, but it was a cheap meal. Okay, because, you know, we followed Clara's recipe to the best of our ability. I'm going to pepper this and we'll take it to Papa. Cooking with Clara's Depression era recipe called Poor Man's Meal. It's basically potatoes and hot dogs and onions fried up with a little bit of sauce.
It's like hash.
Yeah, kind of.
Very tasty.
There you go. This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead. And our, God rest her soul, Clara's Depression era Poor Man's Meal got a thumbs up from Papa. Hey, that's another way to make that quarter. Take care, God bless.